Welcome everyone to another episode of the STEM Broker podcast. I'm your host, April Boyd-Noronha, known as the STEM Broker. And yes, I'm just a girl that's also a geek who loves to talk about girls in STEM. For more information about the STEM Broker podcast, upcoming Girls in STEM events, and professional development training, visit our website, thestembroker.com. If you missed a previous episode, links to all of our shows are on the podcast page on our website. Now, you can also check us out on social media. Follow us on Twitter at the handle @thestembroker and like us on Facebook at facebook.com/thestembroker. So if you're on Twitter right now and have comments or questions about the show, tweet them using hashtag #TheSTEMBroker. Now, I know you're wondering what or who is the STEM Broker? Well, we are a consultancy focused on increasing the level of training, engagement, and dialogue in support of all things about girls in STEM. Now, if you've been tuning in every Monday, then you already know that I have a personal investment in the success of the Girls in STEM initiative as a parent of 3 children, 2 of whom are my daughters, aspiring engineers. So briefly, let me share with you 2 ways to help keep STEM alive in the community. Number 1, partner with us as an advertiser. Or number 2, sponsor a podcast for as little as $25 a month. To get started, visit our website, thestembroker.com, and click on the donate link or send me an email at april@thestembroker.com. And remember, we offer training for adults too. Are you a teacher who wants to keep STEM alive or at least introduce STEM to your students? We got a class on how to do that. Maybe you're a recent or soon-to-be graduate and you're about to test the STEM waters and you kind of need some career guidance. We can coach you on how to get your foot in the door. Or are you an HR professional or an IT recruiter? You're responsible for not only recruiting and hiring a team, but also maintaining and retaining a diverse IT staff. Yep, we offer customized training for that too. So for more information, visit our website at www.thestembroker.com or email me at april@thestembroker.com to get started. And yes, we can bring the training to you. Maybe you know a cool startup or a socially responsible corporation that would be a cool site to host training or a Girls in STEM boot camp. Share this podcast with them and encourage them to contact me at april@thestembroker.com for more details. Now, last week, I shared with you my top 10 takeaways from a recent Midwest Tech Summit that I attended. And if you missed the podcast, no worries. Check us out on our website, thestembroker.com. But this week's topic is the 5 rules of engagement for parents raising a girl in STEM. And in today's podcast, I want to share with you my top 5 tried and true, like survival tips that I've learned along the way as a single parent of 3 future STEM technologists, 2 pursuing engineering, and 1 pursuing a career in science. So my number 5 rule is to build alliances, secure a mentor, and to make sure you create a support network. So as you encourage your child to reach for new heights in their pursuit of a STEM career, equally important is how to show them how to step up their game in establishing a support network, building alliances, and ultimately securing a mentor. Now, I know the very concept of finding a mentor, it even makes some adults break out in a sweat. But as I coach parents in successfully raising a girl in STEM, I remind them to stay focused on the long-term benefits. Such as my case, by default, my contacts are my kids' contacts too. My mentors mentor my children as well. So parents, it is your responsibility to help chart the course for the STEM journey of your child. Remember, no one is an island. Not one STEM technologist can say that they did it alone. They can say, that they did it my way or their way, but every person can look back on their life and pinpoint pivotal times where that one person said or did something that forever shifted their perspective on life as they knew it at that moment. And that is what a mentor does. That is the key benefit of building true alliances and or a support network. Now, I remind my clients that this concept goes well beyond just your BFFs and the total tally of your follows and likes on your social media. It's much more bigger than that. But these are the tangible, surefire, tried, tested, and proven friends and or associates that you can count on and actually that you actually communicate with on a regular basis. So I know some of you guys are thinking, no, random texting does not count in this case where you're building alliances and you're creating a support network and ultimately securing a mentor. My number 4 rule of my top 5 rules of engagement for parents that are raising a girl in STEM is resume building, and that it needs to be done on a constant and consistently basis. Now, what I mean by that is every job or volunteer work that I've committed to was strategic. I've never been one to just apply for any old job. I've always been strategic and weighed the pros and cons before making a decision. Now, don't get me wrong. I love to volunteer when and wherever I can. But honestly, time is our most valuable commodity. You never get it back. So each minute of the day should count for something. Well, more specifically, each activity, job, experience, etc. should help build a professional profile or resume for you. Case in point, my oldest daughter is 16 years old and she wants a job. And I was very clear in the fact that, heck yeah, I want you to get a job too, but it has to be one that would build her resume. Since she is an aspiring engineer, I challenged her to find a job or summer activity that was in a STEM field. That was all that I asked. Now, I know she's still a kid. Okay, she's a teenager. But the method behind my madness is that the time, skills, and talent that she'll invest in a summer job or experience should count for something. And I mean something like learning a new skill, enlarging her network of people, or etc., something to that extent, because it's never too early to seize every opportunity to build your resume. And that's what I always encourage her and young girls in the community to do. My number 3 top rule of engagement for parents that are raising a girl in STEM is to empower and consistently build their self-esteem. Now, as a military spouse years ago, I was afforded the unique opportunity to work in various industries in roles that were extremely fulfilling and empowering positions. One was as a career readiness trainer for military youth. I was a featured columnist at a newspaper for about 6 years. I also was executive producer and host of a weekly radio show. And then I think maybe one of the most rewarding roles that I had was I was a college administrator for online learning for soldiers. But I also know how challenging and how downright stressful the workforce and some of those workplaces were, especially being a female. And in knowing this, I'm always careful not to subject my daughters, remember, aspiring engineers, I don't want to subject them to too much too soon if I don't have to. So keeping in mind also that pursuing an engineering or a STEM career in general as a female and a minority, that's a double whammy. They will have its own set of uphill battles. My daughters will have their own set of uphill battles to deal with. So as a parent, I take my role seriously as their first line of defense, so to speak, in constantly empowering them, and reminding them of the beauty of their beauty, not only on the outside, but more importantly, the inside, the beauty of being and owning their unique self, and in stimulating their mental capabilities, the problem solving, the finding creative solutions, etc. Because these are qualities that they will need as engineers or whatever career they pursue in STEM. Now, my number 2 of my top 5 rules of engagement for parents raising a girl in STEM is networking. My children all, and I'm blessed with this, all of them have the natural ability to work a room. Yes, they get it from their mama, and I'm not ashamed to take full credit of it. Thank you very much. But I distinctly remember the time when I was running as a candidate for school board. And, as usual, typical day, I was toting my briefcase, my note cards, my flyers, and my bio literature. And as I was reviewing my notes for that night's educational debate, lo and behold, I look up to see my 2 daughters working the room. They're telling people about me, their mom, as they're handing out flyers. And, of course, as any parent, it was a proud moment, even to the point of today where if I'm facilitating training and my children are assisting me in setting up, I know they have the confidence to get the job done, whether it be PR, marketing, or helping me to promote my next book, class, or project. Now, I know for some, the valuable skill of networking takes years to develop. Some adults never truly master it. Others have it because they've seen it modeled, such as my case with my daughters and my son. The point is, whether you have to help your child develop it or it becomes naturally for them, know that networking is part of the very fiber of fitting in and getting in, especially if pursuing a STEM career. And now my number 1 of my top 5 rules of engagement for parents raising a girl in STEM is to document everything. Okay, stay with me. Now, parents, we are notorious about bragging about little Johnny's awards or little Susie's performance in school. And instead of simply bragging about it, parents need to step up their game and document it too. It's not as hard as you think, so stay with me. Case in point, since elementary school, I've kept every award and certificate. Well, okay, not every, but most of my kids' awards or certificates that they have earned. But here is the key. Of course, your child's best dressed and their prettiest smile awards and certificates, they're nice. We like for them to have them. But the awards and certificates that read honor roll, student of the month, perfect attendance, and any certificate of participation at a community event such as participant in a local science fair or tech expo, or if they attended a STEM summer program, these make more of an impact over time. Case in point, let's say that they're applying for their first job as a teenager or an internship as a junior or senior in high school, or better yet, completing a college application. See, this is documented proof, and this is beyond a parent's or a family member's biased perspective, right? But this is documented proof of their credibility, their civil responsibility, or their interest and or passion in STEM. See, thus far to this point, because honestly, as a youth or as a teen, they're not going to probably have much to put or to build upon when they sell themselves to join a school or join a program or a STEM